what to write about. Trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist. Am I worth anything or just a scout? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
That was great sounds of Wata on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Preston, with my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, Mr. Elm City Made, Mr. EZ BlueZ. EZ BlueZ, you're always better with introductions more than me. What is the topic we're going to talk about today?
You know, many years ago, there was a song by a group called Stabbing Westward. And it says, I cannot save you. I can't even save myself. So save yourself, which is by far one of the most fitting aspects. Because when we talk about today's topic and the fact that you have to save yourself and you can only save yourself, it is the perfect reflection. Because as we've said it a million times on the show, you know, how can you remove a plank of wood? Or how can you move a splinter out of your brother's eye when there's a giant plank of wood sticking out of your own? First, you take the splinter out of your own eye, and then you address the splinter in your brother's eye. That's pretty much what you have to do in life. Just kind of the way things go.
Agreed. Now, did you save yourself when you left Long Island for Connecticut?
Yeah, no, that was a big thing. I had lived out everything that I could have done on Long Island. I was good with what I had accomplished there. Happy with, you know, how things had gone, but I just knew Long Island wasn't my end goal. wasn't where I was supposed to be. It wasn't enough of a scene for me to be happy musically or feel independent musically or anything along those lines. You know, because we've talked about it all the time. It's because, you know, there's 45 minutes between venues, so you don't have the same thing that like walking downtown New Haven, you know, would have, where you can go to Cafe 9 and then shoot over to Stella Blues and then go up the block a little bit and shoot over to Three Sheets if you want to, you know, see a bunch of shows in one night.
And you said it's more unity.
Yeah, so a lot. Scene, right? Well, and it's so funny because if you ask anybody out here, they're going to say no. They're going to say there's no unity. But there is. You know, people are pulling for you. I mean, if they're not showing up or doing the things, maybe you need to take a look at yourself. Maybe you have a toxic band member. Maybe you have, you know, something along the lines of things that need to be changed. Maybe you guys, you know, have a bad rep for taking too long or you know, say you're going to close every show, but you really wind up opening or being in the middle act instead of, you know, pulling your weight, even though you were probably a bigger draw. That was not meant for anybody, but might have landed on somebody. So
you were surrounded with a lot of toxic musicians back then?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, toxic musicianship is normal. It's bred kind of into the industry. And you know, that look, I have no problem going on record and saying that, you know, while I was away in the military, I know that my ex convinced a whole bunch of people that I was okay with them hooking up with her. Oh yeah. She was a Batman villain. But that's, you know, how toxic it can get. Right. You know, and when you have a toxic partner, like that person was a severely toxic partner, you know, that can, you know, help and super intensify. I love how your eyes got like super wide when he's like, oh my God, he's going there. I went there nicely. I could have said words.
Yeah, sorry, it's getting used to the no glasses thing.
Oh yeah. Is this like a normal thing with you now? Are you done with
this
glasses?
Is not a normal thing for me. I just don't want to go across the room. So this is my laziness. So I'm not saving myself when it comes to see. So I'm not doing it at all. Okay. But right. I see you perfectly.
Word. I just want to make sure.
No,
I want to make sure maybe
fine.
You got like the LASIK surgery or something like that, or something.
I'm scared to get the LASIK surgery. I'm scared scared to put contacts inside of my eyes. I'm scared of contacts.
I'm scared of contacts too.
I do not want to jam something in my eye. And what if I forget about it? What if I'm tired from work? Yeah. And go right to bed and just crash.
Yep.
I'm going to feel horrible. And what if it gets stuck in my eye? I am anti-contacts. Just give me my glasses. I'm fine with glasses.
Okay.
I'm fine with that. That's a me thing.
So what about the LASIK surgery? Don't you get you all sorts of flustered?
I don't want any lasers in my eye.
Okay.
I don't trust. I got trust issues when it comes to doctors.
No, I've got look. You should have some healthy trust issues when it comes to
trust.
doctors.
You know, like you're a salesman at the end of the day when you're a doctor. You're selling me some stuff. You know, like you don't care what's gonna happen to me as long as you get paid. So, but I'm really
there are so many doctors that are listening to this show right now. They're like, "That's not true." Clickety,
hey,
click,
come on down. We'll invite you on the program. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, man. I'm with it. I'm with this. Let's go. But that's just my FYI and my PSA on that. I can't do it. I can't do it. A lot of people have been telling me positive reviews on it. They take the surgery. They say it's really good for you. Not really good for you, but they say it's successful. Like I haven't met anyone who said that it can't be done. But me personally, I don't want it. I don't want it in my eye. I don't want like any after feeling. I don't want a headache, because I'm already at a good level of my anxiety. So
nice.
That's just that.
I actually, my eyes are so bad I can't get the surgery.
Really?
Yeah, it would make my eyes worse.
Oh man, now what was which one you have that you can see close, you can see far? Like I forgot the terminology for each one.
I can see close. I think I'm nearsighted.
Okay. Me too. I'm nearsighted as well. Nearsighted and far side. That's what it is. Yeah.
I have astigmatism in my right eye. So my eye is actually shaped like a football.
I got a little bit of astigmatism, a little bit.
Nice.
But it's not like too crazy. It's not like too insane. So
no, if I was trying to go get contacts, I'd have to go for like 8 different fittings of the contacts so that they could find the right one that's weighted enough to make my eye stop moving.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild, bro.
Yeah. So for me, like anything but glasses is just too much of a hassle.
Well, you know how to save yourself out of that situation, right?
Yeah, I'm like, I just put my glasses on. It's all right. I don't ever need to see. I can walk around with these gigantic eyeballs because these lenses are magnifying to ridiculousness. That's fine. I don't care. I'm still the same person that I was before.
Yeah. I like the new frames, though. It does work. Do you well. Does justice.
It's I've come to a point in time in life where I am a cis white male, and that means I have some of the top privilege in the world.
Right.
And if I'm not willing to take chances with my privilege, then what am I telling the people that are coming from more marginalized communities that they're just stuck with the average quo? No, take chances, risks. Don't care what other people think. Do it. If you feel like wearing it, look, I wore a dress for performance at the State House before it closed. I
can't see with a dress on.
Oh, it was a long skirt. It was actually really nice, and what was really cool about it was the breeze was amazing. We have been lied to our entire lives, dude. I'm telling you right now, because bro, you're a dude. Like it gets super warm in the tight places. Super warm.
I know those kind of places you're talking about.
Right? With the shorts or with the pants and stuff like that. Imagine there just being a breeze that just blows up, and it's dope.
I'm fine with my shorts.
No, I'm just saying it's a dope feeling. I'm not trying to convert you or anything like that. I'm just saying it felt great. Oh my gosh, I really do feel like we've been lied to our entire life.
Do you feel people are like that when it comes to jobs?
What do you mean?
We've been lied to our entire life when it comes to just like going to a job or going to a career or going to a goal that we think is really good for us. But in order to save ourselves out of that situation, we have to leave that type of job. And sometimes the environment is not really toxic when it comes to the people. It's just toxic when it comes to the responsibilities that you have to uphold to.
Well, sometimes the job itself can be toxic because it's definitely requiring more than you're getting out of it.
Exactly.
And that's one of the key things that I try really hard never to be put into that situation where I'm not getting out. It's exactly the same amount that I'm putting in. I fail many a times with that just because sometimes I'm a giver. I like to give and put myself out there and wind up getting trampled over and all those different type of things. But that's fine. But yeah, you can easily the fear of the unknown keeps a lot of people in toxic jobs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they don't know what it's going to be like. They don't know where the next paycheck's going to come from. They
Right.
don't know, you know, what is right, what is wrong, or anything like that. So
Mm-hmm.
it can be scary. It can be terrifying. You know, but you also can sit there and manage these possible ways to get things where they need to be and where they can be straightened out.
What's your most toxic job?
Ooh.
The worst of the worst.
Honestly, we work there together, and that's all I'm going to say.
I mean, I'm okay with saying the name.
Are you
I'm
sure?
over that. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
positive. I ain't gonna have.
Cool.
You know, I'm not gonna get triggered. I'm not gonna
that's
just
fine.
cry.
I'm just Chipotle was by far one of the most
Chipotle was
toxic
the worst
environments.
job.
Okay. It was one of the most toxic environments I'd ever worked at. I'd never had a manager stand over my shoulder and like try to tear me apart verbally before while I was trying to commit a task. And this is when I was literally had a knife in my hand. Like this dude was talking ish while I had a knife in my hand. And I said, "Hey, buddy, I have a knife in my hand. I could slip and just blame it on my PTSD." And that kept his mouth shut for a little while.
I'm a little bit indifferent.
Yeah.
I say yes and I say no. The reason I'm saying no for it to be my most toxic job ever, because I think I've grown a lot.
Right.
I worked with different age groups. I did get promoted. They did give me raises. There was a period that they treated me very, 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 very well there. The reason I'm saying yes for a toxic job, I feel there was a lot of egos there.
Yes.
That shouldn't even be in the first place, because at the end of the day, we're just serving fast food. There really shouldn't be that much egos. It's not. It's. I think people get a little bit carried away when it comes to certain titles in there.
Of course. And just because you have LeBron's hairline doesn't mean you're as good as LeBron.
I agree. And also, you know, I'm gonna put some accountability on myself. You know, I was a manager there for a very long time. I can definitely say I probably was a villain in many lives.
Of course.
I was a villain, and I was definitely a villain in many lives. Some I feel was justified that I had to do, and some I feel where, you know, what if I didn't say these things? I don't think it's just stuff like disrespectfully, but it's just my point of view. But like, everyone has a different perception of you, no matter who you talk to, you know. But what if this person didn't listen to me if I, you know, didn't put my foot down? You know, what if this person treated me some type of way if I was just this nice guy? Sometimes I felt I was a nice guy, I didn't know it. Sometimes I felt I was a bad guy, I didn't know it. So I'm just a little bit indifferent just being there for a long tenure. I can barely speak of my time. So I say yes.
You made better of the opportunities than I did. You know, I have my own issues and I have to take my own accountability.
Yeah, but your issues were justified.
Yeah, to a point. I could have handled things. I could have handled things better. And besides that, we all know what your most toxic job was. We just don't talk about it.
It wasn't a job.
I know it wasn't.
It wasn't a job. Yeah, it was a volunteer. And I'm gonna take full accountability on that. Just for me, because I chose that.
Right.
I thought it was something where I can, but at the end of the day, I could have just went about my life. But I chose to be there. I'm not want to point any fingers at anybody, because I'm over that. I'm not gonna be like, it's his fault, it's their fault. I'm just gonna put, you know, I had enough times to just get up and walk away. And walking away is not a bad thing. Walking away is definitely not a bad thing. A lot of people think walking away and just leaving when you're disrespected is like a punk thing, or like a very weak or inferior. It's not. It really is not. It'd be probably one of the smartest things you can do. And I felt I should have done that many a times. I had many opportunities to do that. I just did not take it. I played the nice guy route, and I am fully accountable with that. And I think it's a grown thing to say. I really
That is a very grown thing to say.
Because I don't want to point. Yeah, I don't want to point any fingers and like, it's his fault, it's their fault, I did that. You know,
I'm gonna point a finger. It's his fault.
I mean, you can point as many fingers as you want.
Just one.
At the end of the day, it was just me. You know what I mean? I felt like I could have done something. But one thing I can change is my future, no matter how old I get, because I think one of the best things I've seen out the place that you were talking about, not the, the
Mm-hmm.
good old wrapping burrito, less portion or over
Mm-hmm.
portion place.
Right.
The little internet thing
Yeah.
they always made fun of it. But I think I'm sorry, I got a little brain fart, but
So
one of the things where I'm most proud, I think I did grown out that place too.
yeah.
I never would have met a good amount of people I know there now.
Yep.
I never probably would have got in contact with Harry.
Mm-hmm.
I never would have, we never would have done this.
Yeah. No. And actually,
Never would
I
have done
just
this. I
I
think
went to the
we
listening
was,
party
yeah.
For the Northern League.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. How
And
was that? It was
yeah,
fun.
that was dope. That was
That's
really
awesome.
it was
That's
really
awesome.
cool.
That's awesome.
There's some clips about some of the discussions we were having.
Yeah, I gotta put him on
Um,
the page. I messed up. I'm
yeah,
sorry about that.
but no worries, no worries.
Yeah.
But there's some clips going around and those different type of aspects. But on top of that, we would have never really had that connection with HGO.
No.
We would have never really been able to do what's necessary and have those really awesome. Like we've been put into a lot of really awesome rooms because of just some of the connections and stuff we've made, whether it be from a good situation or a bad situation.
Absolutely.
Like I still remember getting sent by the arts and cultural part of New Haven to the Culture Con, which
that was out
amazing.
The blue, right?
That was just completely out there. Like you're going to go represent New Haven at Culture Con. The best part about it is this was a convention for game changers and risk takers and all those in the Black community.
I'll say it for you. It was a Black convention. They invited a white guy, and you felt a little, something about it. Yeah.
I mean, they sent everybody else, but they sent me, and
they sent you, and you thought you weren't the right representative. I got you.
I didn't. But then also I got to sit and just be quiet.
Yeah, of course.
For many hours and listen to other people's stories and really, really take it in. And it was one of the best experiences I've ever had, in my life, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the way you can save yourself is not to dwell on the past too much, because I dwelled in the past for a long amount of time. I say for me a good 15, 20 years. Just going back and thinking what I did wrong, regretting, times I should have done this, or maybe I should have done that decision. I'm thinking I'm hurting my future self doing that now.
Right.
Because there's really no point. And for people who want to talk about my past all the time, want to talk about my wrong decisions all the time, is people who are not really meant for my future. They're expired from me, for my interaction. That's how I feel. In order to save yourself, you have to take accountability just from past decisions that you make in life, and just learn just to write a list down and just see if you're going to grow from it, because it's just a waste of time. It really is. It really is. You just got to plan your future. Plan your future is a great way to save yourself. It can be small things too. It can lead to bigger things. It really
can. And like we never know. And that's one of the things that we have to remember. We got to hit up our buddy Jordan. Oh, sorry, our buddy Jason.
Jason? Oh, Adrian.
Jason Adrian.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's a good guy. Yeah.
Yeah. We need to hit him up again, because we're coming back around to the
Bridgeport Festival, right?
That film festival. We'd love to have him on. Maybe talk to some people ahead of that time. See what we can do to help this year with the festival as well, because we helped out last year with the festival, and that was great. We got to go and hang out with Lisa Lampanelli, which was dope.
Yeah, she was cool peoples.
Yeah, she's really cool peoples. I actually hit her up on social media afterwards, just thanked her, and she loved the message. She didn't say anything back, but she took the time to just acknowledge my existence, which I thought was pretty cool.
We got to acknowledge you on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Preston, and my partner in crime, Long Island Rays, Elm City made, Mr. EZ BlueZ is in the building. The topic we're talking about today is only you can save yourself, which is true. You can save yourself out of toxic relationships, toxic jobs, toxic everything, toxic food.
Toxic food? How do you save yourself out of toxic food?
Food that you know is bad for you that you eat every day? You don't need a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich every day. You can
First of
make
all,
you can do a great
if you
job with your
have
diet.
if you have it
Yes.
made correctly, you can have a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich
No,
every day.
you can't have it every day. You can't
Yes,
have
you
it every
can.
day. You can't have a donut every day. You
No,
can't
you
have
can't have a
cake.
donut every day, but you can have a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich every day.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
No.
Turkey bacon, egg
Okay.
whites.
I'm talking about bacon. I'm talking
No,
about.
no, 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 no. You're just talking about the sandwich
I
itself.
will discriminate when it comes to food, not people, but I will discriminate when it comes to food.
All right, all right.
Bacon comes from pigs. I ain't gonna do no turkey bacon, veggie bacon, none of that. You can't have a real bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich every day.
I mean, if you're willing to do an extra couple meter walk and stuff, I mean, you can.
Are you willing to do a couple extra meter
Dude,
rucks
I'm
and
not.
runs?
I'm
Are
not.
you
No.
do you have that energy? Are you built
But
for
I
that?
also
Are
don't
you
eat
built for
breakfast.
that life?
I actually don't eat breakfast, so it doesn't really matter to me. I'm just saying, if I wanted to,
Right.
I could have, like, if I had the income to have whatever I wanted for breakfast every day, I would have a bacon, cheese, egg, and cheese. Actually, no, I would have a Hungry Man. You know what a Hungry Man is?
I know what a hungry man, the
Yeah.
TV dinners, right? That's what you're talking about?
No. This is a breakfast sandwich.
Okay, so what is the hungry man breakfast
It's
sandwich?
5
Break it
eggs.
down. Fried
Five
eggs.
eggs.
5 eggs. 5 eggs, not fried.
5 eggs.
5 eggs. Okay,
5 eggs.
5 eggs. Yes.
Bacon.
Bacon.
Ham.
Sausage.
Hash browns. Cheese. And the roll is buttered.
That's horrible. Delicious, but horrible. That is
amazing.
delicious, but that is horrible.
We used to eat those after Krav Maga class, like every Saturday.
After what kind of class?
Krav Maga.
Krav Maga.
It's the Israeli form of martial arts. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it was a mixed martial arts class. You used to have it.
Yeah.
Hey, you're probably burning that off after.
Oh yeah, we were burning it. Well, dude, we burned everything off in Krav class, dude. Krav's the one you go in exhausted and you leave dead. It's whew.
That's a way of saving yourself too. Learning how to defend yourself physically. Yeah. Definitely, it'll definitely teach you a lot about discipline. Mixed martial arts class. Now you were in it recently, another mixed martial arts class, right?
I think you were one in
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Now, this time just a little bit about that experience. You just like going back and forth, like with a person or like with an actual. Like,
no, with people.
Yeah.
With people, we'd be rolling around the ground and grabbing on each other and tossing each other down, and slamming each other onto the mats, and trying to grab some sort of something to break in some sort of way. You get real intimate with people, and I'm sweaty, so like I felt bad because by the time I was done with class, I was pouring sweat.
Did you feel good afterwards?
I feel when it comes down to like martial arts and stuff like that, that's my favorite type of workout because I love that combative aspect. I love the history of it. I love testing my body into a different direction and those different type of things. So those are the better workouts for me. Like although I am going to consider going to, I'm not going to consider going to. I'm about to start up the membership at Planet Fitness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they have classes?
I don't know if they have classes, but I know that I can go and like I can bring a person with me.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's like $10 a month, right? It's really
something along those lines. Yeah. So you can go. I can bring someone with me every single time.
That's cool.
And which is better because I work better with accountability, like having that accountability right there.
No. I didn't. I stopped myself because I don't want to interrupt your senses.
All right. It's fine.
But I was like, you can't work out by yourself.
I can, but it's different when you're working out with someone else there. Okay. Not even like working out with them together, but when they're working out with someone else there. A lot of that, came from the military training and different stuff like that, where I could look at that person as the next aspect that I needed to pass, or the next different type of hustle there.
Now, just with the military, because I know you served for quite a while.
A couple years.
Did that make you better when it came to discipline and just a little bit like it made your life like a little bit more structured?
Military,
Yeah, I know you do like anxiety
Yeah.
issues and
Yeah.
certain like problems like that. But if you felt like if you didn't join the military at that time, will the anxiety? I'm trying to find a great way to say this. Well, if you didn't join the military,
Right.
would your anxiety worsen, or would it
Well, here's the thing.
be for the
What
best?
people need
Yeah.
to remember is one, the main reason why I joined the military.
Mm.
The main reason why I joined the military was because it was the most fiscally responsible way for me to commit suicide.
Mm. Oh man.
Okay. If I
Yeah.
died in battle, my kids would get $500,000. And that's all that I looked at it as. I was ready to have my ticket punched. I was done with what this world had to offer, and it made the most amount of sense to go out that way. But by doing that, I discovered that there was much more to myself than what I was giving myself credit for, and I discovered that there are some points in time that I actually have some decent things that I don't totally loathe about myself. And as those are different aspects. So yeah. Do I think my anxiety would be the same? My anxiety probably would be different. I've always had a I've always been hyper focused and dealing with a hypersensitivity when it comes down to like situations and stuff like restaurants. I have the issue if I have to sit with my back to the door. And this the kind of stuff like really gets to me. And that could be something from, watching too many mobster movies.
Maybe, but just from observation, I've seen a lot of policemen, police women. I've seen a lot of naval officers. I've seen a lot of Marines. They won't have their back to the door.
Yeah.
At all. So I've seen from a lot of people from a command standpoint or like a leadership standpoint, just what I've seen just outside. This is coming like from an outside point of view. They always want to have their face to the door. They can't have their back to the door. Like for example, like the father of the family, like the leader of the family. Most fathers I've seen want to look outside to see what they're going to do because
what's coming next.
What's going on, what's going down. Like they're not going to be just looking at the door, but they just want to have just an overall point of view. So, I don't think that's something to look down at yourself upon, or because I've seen it's a more common thing. It really is.
Oh yeah, no. I know a lot of my tics are rather common tics, which is why I was able to pass for as long as I was able to pass. Because it was all kind of just the normal stuff that went through. It wasn't until I started to really dive into a mental health journey that I realized that these are actually unhealthy things that I have developed because of severe trauma and different aspects along those lines. And it is what it is. In no way am I going to ever be in a commercial that has Sarah McLachlan playing in the background. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. But those are very real aspects that we all have to look at. And I had to, and these are things that I have to be comfortable with in a healing journey, because as we say, and as the show is said several hundred times, you are the only person that you can save yourself.
Of course.
And for me, it's a matter of understanding the why. Why there are certain things that are like certain ways for me that actually help understand that. It doesn't help understanding the human population, because y'all just drive me crazy. The human population does some things, and I'm like, who's not playing the home game? I don't.
For a person with a lot of life experience, and for the person who has overcome and is still battling mental health issues, what are some ways where you change your daily routine when it comes to bettering yourself and saving yourself to think more clearly, react more clearly, make more effective decisions as you move on?
For a second, I thought we were going to start breaking into day by day from.
No, we don't got to break.
Like, to see thee more clearly.
I
was like, what?
I'm not trying to go too in detail. I'm just trying to,
No, but no,
Yeah.
it's something that
Mm.
I wrestle with on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And it's stuff that I will forever be changing and trying to fix and figure out that one spot. One of the things is I'm trying to get better at giving myself grace. That's a big one. So I say that for everybody, because I can give anybody the amount, a million amounts of grace. I can. They could do me as dirty as humanly possible, and I'd still be like, you want to know something? This is what the circumstance was. This is what the situation was. It is what it is.
Mm.
I'm never going to trust you like that again, but I can still move forward with you and different stuff like that.
Of course.
But I can't do that with myself, and that's something that I'm working on and trying in the saving of oneself aspect. Giving yourself grace is, I think, one of like those Mega Man levels.
So making great choices and
Right.
eventually slowly making those building blocks to make your life more easier for yourself.
Right.
Mm.
Well, and for me, it's not necessarily as making great choices as much as continuing to make the choices, good, bad, or indifferent.
Right.
But also having the accountability for, I made a bad decision today, and everything's not going to go the way that I want it to go. Like, for example, Shane Penguin's got the record coming out. It's going to be coming out in the fall. We could wait until the very last minute and put everything together, or we can give 4 to 6 weeks and be able to get the promotion that's in there behind it and be able to do all that extra work. If you're not, we're not just going to release the record and just hope that somebody's going to hear it. We're releasing the record and we're putting it into a heavy radio station pull in different aspects in there and doing all these different type of marketing techniques to release that record because it's working itself the best way. No matter what, they say all the time, when God closes a door, he opens a window. But what they forget to tell you is you still have to go through that window.
Mm.
That's the main part that they forget to tell you about that. It's like, oh, the window's open, so everything's better. No, the house was still on fire, homie. You still had to get out the house, and that door was closed. You got to jump through that window. And I'm just getting better at jumping through windows, I think.
It's a great way to describe it. It really is. I think you reach to a level, I probably met myself too and most others, where we find a personal routine for us, because a lot of people get mixed. I think that's a lot of the mix up between it. We confuse routines that we have to do through our personal routine because everyone looks at life differently.
Right.
When it comes like to scheduling different stuff for us, and when it comes to handling or reacting to situations a little bit better and a little bit more clearly, like standing back, like it affects people differently. So it's a great way to break that down. It really is. So let's jump into window.
The minute when you said step back too, I was like, oh, it's the hurricane. Step back. There's a hurricane coming through.
Oh Lord. I love the wrestling references, but I think some people are just like, what the F?
Well, of course, and that's fine. It's not for them. It's for the people who know what I'm talking about.
Right. I got you. You can only save yourself.
Right.
What are some stuff that we can save ourselves when it comes to confrontation?
Well, how much are you want to be vested in that in that whole aspect? You know what I'm saying? You have to see where it weighs out, because look, there are some confrontations that are good.
Mm-hmm.
There are some confrontations that you need to go through because only iron can strengthen iron. So you need that confrontation to help you grow.
Absolutely.
There was a point in time in both of our careers where we needed that conflict. We were both in an unhealthy environment, but we needed that conflict because it was showing us something we both love to do, which is like doing this on the radio and different aspects from there. So we had to fall in love with that, but I think I fell in love with it harder because I had a conflict there.
Mm.
You know, there was a little bit of pushback, so I had to work a little bit harder for it. So I think that there's confrontation needs to be. It's just how you deal with it is really the most important thing, because there are some conflicts that the only thing that's going to solve it is complete and total chaos and destruction. And there's some conflicts where a handshake and a high five will go about your day.
Yeah. Having those hard conversations, talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes you need to have that hard conversation with a certain individual or individuals.
Or sometimes you need to have that hard conversation with yourself.
With yourself.
That's even the harder conversation to have when you're like,
a lot of hard conversation with myself.
You know,
yeah.
Like I put myself, you talked about it earlier. I put myself in this situation. I made these choices to come through. The only one to blame in this situation for what happened in that situation is me.
Yeah.
Very mature and responsible way to say it. From someone that was in that situation with you. It wasn't just you. But whatever. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm petty. You're not petty, and that's fine.
I feel everyone is petty in their own way.
Right.
But I think you're proud. I think you're more proud of the pettiness. That's a different one. I think everyone shows pettiness, whether it's a passive pettiness or passive aggressive pettiness. But that's a whole another topic.
Yeah. But hey, man, look, at the end of the day, I will always acknowledge that my tribal chief is pettiness. I know that.
Did you save yourself going in the same Penguin with a solo gigs you felt just weren't for you at the time?
It's still not for me. I don't. Right. I can accomplish so much more with Shane Penguin than I ever was going to do solo. Like playing solo shows can be fun. They can be, all sorts of, good stuff to do. But there's nothing like creating with these three other individuals and having to understand each other and to know that going into this situation, there's three other people that 100% have my back and I 100% have theirs.
That's awesome.
It really is. It is a brotherhood. What started out as, a band has become kind of like an ethos and kind of a brotherhood, which is dope.
Can you imagine life without that band?
No. No, and that comes from the point where I actually had to imagine life without it. There was that time we hit a little bit of that turbulence with what was going on.
Yeah, situation.
We had a situation, and I had to wrestle with the very real fact that there might never be another Shane Penguin, or there might never be that opportunity. And I had to really wrestle with, am I going to be happy in existence? I have spent time just being on this earth, not creating music, and I am miserable when I do that. Like, I'm not, like, it is not fun. Music is something that I need to do, whether I'm doing it professionally or I'm doing it just for my own sanity. Music is 100% the answer for me. That's one of the reasons why I can work at School of Rock and I can help teach children, is because I have just this amazing connection to the music itself.
There's going to be an open house for that, right? Very soon?
I think there's an open house for the one in North Haven.
Okay, yeah, because I saw an ad, or I saw like a recent advertisement like for open house, because you're the one in what, Milford?
Yeah, I'm in Milford.
Okay, you're in Milford. I thought you were North Haven because it was closer to you.
Right. No. Well, it's so funny because I would have had an opportunity if I decided to go to North Haven to work at North Haven, and I probably could, but there's just something about the Milford place that sent me calling, and now they've kind of like become a second family to me.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. As long as you're happy there. That's what matters.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Now,
It's far. It's far.
It's
far. It's by the mall, bro. It's far.
It's by the mall far?
It's by the mall, bro. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you're okay with that.
Yeah, it's fine.
As long as you are okay with that, as long as that makes you happy, as long as the people around you are good, that's what matters. That definitely matters. But without those relationships being broken within the band, can you see yourself doing a solo career again?
Yes, but probably in a different way. I think any type of solo aspect would be kind of like, more like a one-man show type of thing. where I would probably talk a little bit. I would do like a song. I would, maybe do a dance routine or something along those lines, and do something like that. I am contemplating. A couple of people have been really, really pushing me to write books. They want me to actually write a parenting book, which is pretty cool. So that should be very interesting. They're like, you have it all figured out. I was like, I don't have anything figured out.
Nobody does.
Yeah.
Nobody does.
So.
Yeah. Do you think that's a con, motivational speaking, and you should do this and this? Do you think it's somewhat of a con? I'm not saying all of them are BS.
I think everything is. I think everything
right.
is.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, you're still selling something.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to like the parenting books and different techniques there, I have no problem telling people what works for me. I'm not saying you have to do it like
this. That because a lot of people have that.
Yeah.
That
egotism.
I can't think of it. Egotism, but it's that word that I just can't say right now. I can't think of the word, but it's in my head.
Narcissistic.
I don't think it's narcissistic. I don't think it's narcissistic. It's selling point.
Yes.
Selling point is the selling point. Like they push that selling point that you need to hear this now, their point of view now. If you don't hear it, it's maybe it's a little narcissistic.
Yeah. Oh no, there's definitely a little narcissistic.
It's like a tad narcissist when it comes to it. Like because I'm hearing all these motivational speakers and what they look like physically doesn't match what they're saying mentally.
Right. Well, and a lot of the
really
stuff too is like
it really is. Yeah.
I wanted to write a book on how to succeed in business. First thing, write a book on how to succeed in business. Second thing, get on Oprah. There you go. I've just made $1 million. You know what I mean? But that's for a while. That's all it took. You had all these self-help books that all you needed was to go on Oprah's book club once, and you were set for life.
On WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Something I should have said 1 minute ago. But
oh no, we're a whole minute behind.
Yeah, come at me, Harry. Just come at me. But yeah, you're making it a good point. But I don't think you need to save yourself when it comes to listening to those people, because at the end of the day, we know what we need to do to improve. We don't need to spend basics, like from the basics, we know what we need to do to improve. I understand. I think we do. But just hear me out. Hear me out.
Yeah.
Let's just say, you need to save money. Like, you know it, but you're going to watch a whole bunch of YouTube videos on saving money, but you still have the habits of, buying stuff you don't need. You're still going out and eating out when you don't need to, when you have food at home, you still doing all these messed up habits. And then you come to the realization that I need to save money when you already know what to do. And then you're wasting your time with all these self-help books and these YouTube videos that you're watching all the time. They're just wasting your time mentally.
It's feeding the addiction.
Already know it. Yeah, it's feeding an addiction. You're feeding an addiction when you already know what you need to do. So that's what I said, that we know what we need to do to improve. So a lot of people just don't take the action in doing it.
No, it's easier to get the action for the book, because the book's going to tell you all the right things. Because no matter what, you're doing it the right way. You just have to find the right book to tell you that it's the right way that you're doing it. And you're just looking for that right book to tell you which one and the way to do it.
But it's going to say the answers that you already know, but in a different way.
Right,
but you're paying for it and wasting your money on it.
But the thing is, and it takes 3 times as long. When, like, I need to save money, so I'm going to go buy this $24.99 book that teaches me how to save money. Put the book down.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I get it.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the common sense aspect of it there. But again, we are in a world that common doesn't make much sense lately. And although unless you're talking about the hip hop artist, because Common makes a lot of sense. The dude's a phenomenal artist.
It's true. It's true. Yes.
But there is no real common sense in the world, there's a whole bunch of people running around going, the sky is falling.
Mm-hmm.
And a whole bunch of people looking up or not looking at all. And that's a problem.
It's a great concept.
Every once in a while.
As we come to a close, talking about how you can only save yourself. What is Easy's Blues' best way to close this out? This time is yours.
Honestly, when it comes down to saving yourself, one of the most important things is to understand your value. Understand that the day would actually be less cool if you weren't here. Understand that, the work that you're putting forth, although it might not get the return automatically, there is going to be a return on it, and you are going to be okay. Give yourself grace. Learn to love yourself. I know it's hard to do. It's something that's been agonizing for me. But learn to love yourself and really give yourself some grace that you can move forward. And if you need somebody to talk to, Harry Droz, he's the producer of the show. He's got nothing else to do. You just talk to him directly. He's got you.
Even on politics?
No, just talk to him about your problems. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're having a bad moment, hit up Harry, and he's got you.
What if you and Harry had a show?
It'd be great.
No. How long will it last? Just how long?
You want to know something? It would probably
just
last.
How long?
It would probably
I just
last
want to know
like
how
30
long.
years. It would probably last for like 30 years.
I don't think 30 years.
Yeah, because it would the back and forth would be so
just,
good, and Harry and I would be playing so many games with each other. It would be so good. Neither one of us
won't be 30 years.
Playing chicken. We'd be constantly playing
maybe
chicken.
30 days. I give it 30 days. Not 30. I give it 30 days. I give it literally 30 days.
All right.
I can't give it 30 years. I love Harry. I love you, but I gotta give it 30 days because once you go in, you go in. Once you know I'm right. If someone says something,
you're right.
That's
it's over.
Way off. In going entirely against your beliefs.
Right.
You're not holding back. You don't care who's in the room.
Nope. I don't care. I don't care if there's someone who's running for Rosa DeLorean.
Exactly. You don't care at all. You don't care at all. You are just gonna let it out because you know if you have it stored inside of you, these feelings, you're gonna lose it.
And then you do that thing from TikTok.
I give it 30 days. If you say 30 years, that'll be a great program. That'll be some of the best radio I've heard in all my life. There's going to be no dead air. The chemistry was just going to be on point. As we close this out on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven, myself, Preston, and my partner in crime, 2 times a week, Long Island Rays, Elm City made, Mr. EZ Blues. We appreciate you all.
Wondering what to write about, trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist, am I worth anything or just a scout? I don't know.